going to use yellow thread and whatever thread you're going to use to finish it off. Black, red, brown, orange, whatever. This fly is a bit more involved. It's a little bit more complicated than the last two. And we don't have that much time to tie it. So I'm going to tie it as fast as I can, and we'll get to tying it as soon as I can get it tied in. All right? This one has no tail, but it's a two-colored body. So,
I'm sorry, what was the name of this?
This one's called the Flynth. But the thread is supposed to show through it, or at least the color is supposed to influence the color of this. So on this one, I'm going to start the thread about mid-shank.
Is that a 2x long or?
It can be 2x or 1x, doesn't matter on this one. 2x looks nicer, I think. For this, you're going to rib it with silver wire. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it in a little bit long. I'm going to tie it in a little bit long, and then I'm going to slide it back a little bit. Okay? I'm going to come back almost to the center point of the barb, and I'm going to go forward in smooth wraps. Not spiraling forwards, but one right and turn right in front of the other. And I'm going to trap it all the way, I'm going to trap that tinsel all the way down, or the wire all the way down. And then I'm going to come back to a point just in front of it. Now, what I'm going to do is, it's called tying a tag on the fly. All right. The tag is just a little silver butt, and it's going to be about 5 wraps of wire, one turn right in front of the other, and you'll see that it builds up a little bit of a shiny butt section right there, like that. 4 or 5 turns is all you need. And all you need to trap it down is 1 turn of thread. And then come in front of it. Now this, I don't know how many of you have tied with this technique before, but it's called a dubbing loop. And you want a short dubbing loop. It'll be about 4 or 5 inches long. Alright? What I do here is I wrap it around my finger. I'll come up to the same spot where I pulled it off from, go over the top of it, wrap around it, trap it down there. And so what that does is, if you can see it, it makes the thread come to a very sharp point right down here at the bottom. There's no gap there, all right? That's the purpose of trapping it down like that. Now what I do is, I've got this tool here, and this just makes it a little easy. The tool I have actually spreads the thread apart like this. When I hook it through here like this, it'll hold the thread open. All right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it about 6 times. And at this point in time, I'm going to take some olive dubbing, and I'm going to turn my vise a little bit at an angle so that I have access all the way to the shank, if you can see that. And you take little bits of dubbing like this, shove it in the separation, and push it up into the twisted area. Okay? And what that does, when you push it up, it straightens it out, and when you let go, it spins it around.
How would you couldn't do this without a dubbing tool then, huh?
There's other things you can use as dubbing tools.
Well, you're going to need a tool, one way or the other.
You could use your finger.
Yep,
you can put your finger.
Finger does work.
Oh, yeah.
God gave you fingers first.
Okay. It just makes it a little easier for me and quicker for me to show you. But the hard part's going to be putting the twists in it. Okay? So what that does is it can you see what happens to it? There's not enough.
Can you zoom in, Ray?
There's not enough light. There's not enough light for me
There
to
it is.
show
Watch,
you.
watch.
What happens is this. You see that you have the bare thread there, and it's twisted, right? I'll take a little pinch of dubbing. I'll push it up into that. You see it untwist, and as soon as I let go, it twists back up again. All right? Now, you can see that the thread is showing through the dubbing at that point in time, and that's about enough. It's about 1 inch long for my hook anyway, size 12, all right? The next color I put in there is a dark brown. Now, this dark brown is a little too dark for my likes, but it will show up. It will show up easy on the camera. If you don't have any, don't worry. You can use some of this. So what I do at this point is I'll push it in, and you can see the color change there. And on this portion of it, it's not going to really matter if you put too much on there or not, because you'll be able to cut this one off flush afterwards. Now, at this point, now that I have the dubbing all spiky like that, I'll sit and twist it. I'll twist it until it's tight. You have a benefit of this little hook here. What this little hook does is it'll reach into your dubbing tool and pull it right off. Whoops, wrong way. Pull it right off. Right in front of the area that you tied that tag, you want to wrap. You want to
stand your hook up so it's looking right.
Oh, yeah.
So they can actually, there you go. Now they can see what you're doing. Thank you.
Now you can see. Now you can see the hook and you can see the tag, all right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to counter wrap this. I'm going to go backwards. I can do that because I've trapped the thread down. And ideally, what I want to do is I want to end this body, I want to end the first color about mid-shank. Right there, all right? Then it starts to change colors at mid-shank. And let's see, there's a little too much dubbing on there. And I'll come forwards this way. And I want to wrap the body until it's right about 1 hook eye space behind the hook eye. Alright, so now you can see you have a 2-tone body. Alright, since I counter wrapped the body material, I can continue wrapping forwards with my ribbing, and it will show through a little bit better.
Okay.
Okay. And
this finger's rubbing down.
This one took 6 turns on a 2 extra long, size 12.
I guess the minimum you want is what, maybe 4 to 5?
4.
4.
Yeah, 4 is about minimum. If you can get 5 on there, what you're looking for is you're looking at the ribbing, and you don't want too much ribbing showing. You can actually put too much flash on a fly in some cases. And then at this point in time, you just take the hackle just like we did for the other three. You size, this one is sized even longer. You're going to need a hackle fiber that is about 1 1/4 length of the hook shank. See that? And I'm going to tie it in with the stem, and I'm going to tie it in like Gene had said, just to give you another look.
Sylvester style?
Yep, Sylvester style.
Good point, good point. Good.
Just so that you guys get another look at a different way of doing it, all right? Now, this is in particular also, so you're going to have to watch it fairly carefully. You tie in the hackle just like before, slide it in underneath, trap it with the thread, come around, trap it down with about 3 wraps of thread, okay? Then what you do is you cross over behind the hackle until you're right at the wrapping point, all right? You take your hackle pliers, pinch it down, grab down enough so that you have a good enough bite on the stem. Raise the hackle up, fold whatever you have left backwards, come forwards of your thread this time, all right? And then wrap forwards to the front of the hook eye, with about 3 wraps because you took half of the feather off. Now what you want to do is you want to come wrap through the hackles as you're going forwards. Because remember, you're starting behind the hackle this time and you're going through the hackle fibers. And what you're doing is you're reinforcing the hackle fiber as it's going through. All right? And I think I did that one wrong, huh? I should have wrapped from the front to the back.
No, you actually did it absolutely right. That's exactly the way Sylvester does it, by the way.
And then you pull the hackle fibers back and then finish off the head.
There you go.
And there's no wing on this. Okay? Once you get yourself a nice neat head on there, we'll finish it and we're finished.